Hello, good evening, SN viewers. This is Satellite Media. Let us look at the controversy between federal government and Oyo State government. Because before now, federal government came out to make us understand that so far they have spent about 570 billion among the states to cushion the effect of government policies on the citizens. But surprisingly, Oyo State governor came out to counter the claim, saying that the money sent to states was money for COVID-19 and that it came from World Bank, and that federal government was only an intermediary receiving the money and sending to states, as according to him, that this was money they spent for COVID-19 that is just merely trying to reimburse the states. So we are looking at this on the basis that federal government may not be telling Nigerians the truth, that federal government may be running a propaganda. We understand that this is a government that ran propaganda in the past. We understand how they used propaganda to oust the former president Goodluck Jonathan out of office. That was in 2015 when the APC government defeated Muhammad Buhari as a candidate. How they told Nigerians that subsidy is a scam, that subsidy never existed. Under Muhammad Buhari, we saw how Muhammad Buhari's government, instead of saying subsidy, he turned it to under recovery. And this under recovery he paid for a good number of 8 years. This time around, we are seeing another APC government under the leadership of Senator Bola Tinubu still riding on the back of propaganda, deceit, to gain access to Aso Rock. Having access to Aso Rock, it looks as if they are not tired of this trajectory, because for a governor to come out to refute the claim from federal government, these are people who should have some level of classified information. So it's surprising to me. Then let us look at what the government told us at a point, because we understand that the government of Muhammad Buhari spent over a good number of trillion of naira to fix our refineries. As we speak, it's not on record that any of them are refining. But this government of Senator Bola Tinubu told us that come December last year, that Port Harcourt refinery was going to start refining. But we are in August 2024. It is not on record that this refinery is already refining. So I think this government should by now be tired of propaganda, should be tired of deceit. You can use propaganda, deceit to run election, to hoodwink Nigerians, to deceive Nigerians into garnering vote, into voting for you, but not a situation where you are already in power. You are still using propaganda, using deceit to run government. We saw how the government recently, before this protest of nationwide protest of hashtag end bad governance, how the government tried to use all manner of propaganda to hoodwink a P2B, to link a P2B as a sponsor of the protest. But at the end of the day, Nigerians disagree with them, because it was very clear that obviously Obi was not a sponsor of the protest. So what we are saying is, why will a government at this point be deceiving her people? This government have told us ab initio from the beginning of this government, when they removed subsidy on gasoline, they floated FS at the official window. They made many promises, which up to today the government keep recycling those promises. Each time the president have opportunity or decide to address Nigerians, what he normally say is he will go and recycle the promises he have made in the past. So I think Nigerians are tired of promises. What we need is action. For instance, the government from the beginning of this administration told us that they were going to give give money, whether you call it grant or whatever, to nano business owners. I'm talking about traders who do not have shops. But in the presidential broadcast recently, he made us to understand that about 600,000 nano business owners have already benefited from that scheme. And as it stands, we cannot independently verify, as a way of getting feedback from nano business owners to know whether they actually benefited or not. The one that is verifiable, that is the one that is coming from a government of Oyo State, the government of Oyo State, coming out clearly to say no, this 570 billion federal government claim that they have used to cushion the impact of policies of government on Nigerians through the state is misleading, as that money never came from federal government, rather from World Bank. So that is why it becomes difficult to believe federal government in the area of saying they have given about that about 600,000 nano business owners have since benefited from. If the media do not have access or know the nano business owners to verify whether actually they have benefited from the government program of giving grant to nano business owners as a way of cushioning the effect of government policies on them. How then do we know, get the feedback to ascertain if federal government have actually given nano business owners what they promised, or if actually about 600,000 nano business owners have benefited? Because according to them, after the beneficiaries of after 600,000 persons have benefited, they claim that another 400,000 will equally benefit. Then the federal government have equally told us that they were going to roll out vehicles that run on CNG. But this is more than 7 months after that promise. We have not seen any CNG vehicle on the streets of Nigeria. So the government is making it very difficult for Nigerians to have that trust in them, because all the promises they have made, we are not seeing them coming out to fulfill it, and all the ones they claim they have done, we are seeing people coming out to refute it. Let's all remember that when the government said they were going to give us grace that worth about 4 billion to each states as a way of cushioning the effect of hardship on Nigerians, a northerner came out to counter the federal government, saying that federal government do not have any grain in their strategic grain reserve. So when we are hearing such statements, hearing such things, and the government is keep on telling us we are doing that, we are doing this as a way of cushioning the effect of hardship on Nigerians, and Nigerians, we are not getting feedback from Nigerians, and the hardship seems not to be abating. It begs for question and answer. Where is this intervention going to? Who is benefiting? Why is it that Nigerians are not seeing the beneficiaries? Why is it that the recipients are not being seen? Is this spirit that is benefiting? If actually Nigerians are benefiting, at least we should have Nigerians who are benefiting to ask questions. We remember that the other time, before the former minister who was suspended, I'm talking about Betel, who was suspended, we understand that the money meant for the vulnerable in Lagos and perhaps in Akwa Ibom was paid into personal accounts. So if that is the situation and the government is not investigating it, and that is why we are not seeing results on ground, I think the government have a Herculean job at hand to ensure that all the money they disburse or they intend to disburse to help the vulnerable, to help the poor, to cushion the effect of government policies on them, actually get to them. And when it's not getting to them, I think investigation should be carried out to unravel where the money is hanging, just like what we saw happen to Betaidu. I think more heads need to roll. Now, let us equally look at another area of government promise, because we understand that this government before now have made us understand that the subsidy removal on gasoline and the floating of FS at the official window, that the government will be getting at the end of the year 8 trillion naira, meaning subsidy removal on gasoline will earn government 4 trillion, and FS floating will earn government another 4 trillion at the end of the year. But the question is this: what is the government using the money to do? Because the question is abundantly clear, made us understand that the welfare of Nigerians and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance. So if this money is not reflecting in the addressing of security of Nigerians and their welfare, it's going to show that the money is not judiciously used, or rather it must have been misappropriated. We are equally looking at the promise of government, because we understand that the government before now equally promised that they were going to give about 500,000 and 1 million to 1 million naira to a good number of small and medium scale enterprises. This is more than 7 years after. This is more than 7 months after that promise, and we have not seen any company or any organization in that category coming out to affirm that yes, we have benefited from this scheme, we have benefited from this, and because of this benefit, we have been able to expand our facility to XYZ, and we have absorbed more Nigerians into our company as a way of giving back to society. I think we need to start getting feedback from the society, from the beneficiaries of all this government intervention, for us to be sure and convinced that actually the government is doing what they promised. Then let us equally look at the area where the government has said we are going to give about 1 billion to a good number of companies as a way of galvanizing economic activities and improving our GDP. Of course, if that was done, we are likely going to see economic activities kicking up, and we are going to see those companies expanding and absorbing more Nigerians, employment Nigerians. So what we are saying is the government have no business deceiving Nigerians. The government needs to be transparent. The government needs to come out clean and tell Nigerians where they are facing difficulties, and any area they claim to be spending money, we need empirical evidence. We need people to come out from the society as a way of feedback, telling Nigerians whether they actually benefited or not. Until we start seeing that, I think we can conclude that the government is running on a trajectory of deceit and propaganda. Thank you very much. This is Satellite Media, and I'm Mr. Matthew.